Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 23 carries, just shy of 140 yards and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
46.
A first down carry by Elliott. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Run. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Over the middle, complete. It's Summers. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So opening drive, 3rd down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd down, Prescott. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
Here we go, 46. Over here.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want to.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football, overtime, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Hey, 47. Here we go. 48.
The give is to Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is third down.
Back down there. Over there. Back there. 26.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on 3rd down.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal.
There we go. 48. There we go. 47. 86.
On the run, this is Jackson. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal.
Here we go. 47. Here we go. 48.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. In for the score. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And that'll be incomplete.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. The defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they're able to react and knock the ball away.
Prescott down, and he'll go down at the 28. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point, or in this case, a field goal.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Keenum going to lead the Broncos out now 1st and 10 at the 34. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll fake the handoff. Now Keenum. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Here we go. 47.
10th carry now for Elliott. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D linemen to make the play.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's airing it out for Williams. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
46. Here we go, 47. Here we go, 47, 47.
On second down, Prescott again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Keep playing hard, fellas. All day. Let's get it. Here we go, 47. Here we go, 46. 26.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
41's the will. There you go. 48. Here we go, 47. 46.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Prescott on first down. They'll roll him. Oh, Prescott stripped. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look, and now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here. But the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
On second down, Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Keenum on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And McManus able to put it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. And now the Redskins, they've opened up a 2-touchdown lead there. Brandon Cooks playing well. He's a catch or two away from a 100-yard afternoon. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Give to Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
46, 46.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Here we go. All right, hey.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Here we go. All right, hey. Then we're going to 53.
A second down throw for Prescott. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. The Cowboys on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a fourth down.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. On first down, Keenum. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Gun. 41's the whip. 26.
Third and short yardage. Prescott flush to under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And Gold is able to put it through, and the lead stretches 16-3 now. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Freeman again. And some room to work. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll run it now out of the gun. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Keenum to throw, and that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos have cut it to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
wonder they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No
him.
one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Off the play fake, Keenum. His throw incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, it's Keenum. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll start the drive with Elliott, and he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go, 46, 46. Good. 46.
Prescott from the gun. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The quick slant, good for a 1st down, a gain of 12. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone.
Now he'll be hit from behind, and he has landed on hard.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Here we go, 46, 46. Here we go. 48. Swerve, hey. 26.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go, 48. Here we go, 46, 46.
Now Prescott. Big loss here as he's taken down. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Keenum. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd gone to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. To throw is Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Get some 9 yards and a first.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Prescott now from the 50. Man open left side. It's Williams. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now Elliott. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal.
Let's go. Let's think now. Let's go 47. 26.
He'll get it up the middle. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Gold is able to put it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
This will be taken about the 12. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Freeman. Freeman a 1st down and more. And now running right through it. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Keenum now to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Keenum. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And McManus able to put it through, and that'll move them back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The field goal we just saw has us now at a one-score game. And on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? Might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball. But here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that. And
Prescott stripped. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Back to throw, Keenum to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Keenum. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Desperation time for Keenum on 4th. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. So the failure to convert no doubt really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
47.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Going to 54. Line 8. 47.
Now Elliott. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Prescott to throw. He finds Hearns left side. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Keenum now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Rhodes. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Back to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. And he spikes it with just a shade under a half a minute left. 29 seconds on the clock. The Broncos on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? They'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards. And he'll stop the clock with 5 seconds to go there on the spike. And no, it's incomplete. So that hits the ground with only 4 seconds remaining. And this should be the last play. One more shot. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. One last throw for Keenum. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, Charles, exciting.
Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging in. Just need a bag, quit out of jaw jackery.